So, what is up, everybody? Shout Scout 0013 here, coming in at you with Graham and Emperor. And today, we're going to come at you with the new points updates and everything that we've got going on. Right now, if you want, you can head over. First of all, we'll just go over kind of like the general stuff. If you want to head over to the Patreon, or not the Patreon, the Discord, and join up, feel free to post
How's
any
it
of
going?
the stuff that you've got, like lists, or if you got work in progress, if you're painting, anything like that, feel free to post it up into the Discord. And yeah, there's a ton of people here. It's growing every day, and you're going to be able to see these two faces all the time while you're in the Discord. And then the Patreon. If you haven't head there yet, go ahead and head to the Patreon and start donating for the channel. And then what it'll do is it'll fund the giveaways and other stuff like that. And on Thursday, I'll announce the giveaway winner then. We have the new points updates. We've got, we'll start with Empire, and we'll kind of just go over the ones that were changed. And just in case, if you guys need a quick reference, Canadian Bear has posted the specific units that have been either decreased or increased in the general chat, so feel free to head over there and check that out. So, let's take a quick look at the Galactic Empire. So Callus has gone down 5 points, and his bow rifle has gone down 10 points, which is really, really nice. And the E-Web Heavy Blaster team has gone down 5 points. General Veers has gone down 5 points. The Imperial Officer has gone up 5 points. And the Heavy Response Unit has gone up 10 points as its base. And then the Dewback Rider and the RT-97C Blaster Rifle Rider, which we talked about last week, did go down, and the Dewback Rider is now down 5 with the Flame, and then another 5 for the RT-97C, which is really, really, really nice because now you're going to be able to use that Relentless from farther away. It's still a cheap gun, and then you still surge, and then if you were to wind up pairing 3 Dewbacks with Boba Fett, you'd be able to, if you could play as 3 pip, eventually have the Dewbacks kind of double move or just do a move where they're at range 1 in line of sight of Boba, and Boba can add a single black dice, making it basically like a red, a black, and 3 white, which, surging and with Relentless, you can probably take an aim and then spur yourself, get into that range of Boba, and go ham. The frag launcher and the assault cannon did go up, so you're looking at way more expensive uh, Dark Troopers. But other than that, that is, I think, the only things for Empire that were affected. What do you guys think? What are your thoughts on this?
I'm fairly, happy with these changes. I think pretty much, especially for the HRUs and the Dark Troopers, they were nerfed enough so that they still see play and it doesn't affect them too gravely outside of it. So they're not a like pseudo banned with like a crazy nerf. Um, I think that's all that really can be asked for with points alone. Um,
Yeah.
I'm very I'm terrified that there's going to be a lot more calluses now.
Yeah, I was thinking
I
about that
do
too.
not want to see his 2 pip.
I mean, Callus has always been a good unit, especially with his utility. And I mean, Face Me is an awesome card. And I got the feeling that melee lists are. I mean, I've seen more melee lists lately, and I think Callus with Vader is just a sick combo to play. So,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, I'm gonna love putting my Magna Guards against them.
Now,
I
especially
mean, it's
with
awesome. I want awesome battles. All the factions need love. And what you said about darks, that's really good too. Um, I mean, it would be a very bad feeling for everybody who bought multiple boxes of the Dark Troopers and then suddenly they're unplayable. So I think probably we need to see if it's a fair price point. But as it looks, uh, from the looks of it, it looks good. So
if you want to go ahead and go over Blizzard Force, since we're on the topic of Empire, and double darks again. I know you've just mentioned that double darks is going to be a little bit more expensive, especially since the frag has gone up and the main gun has definitely gone up. What was it before? You said it, or yeah, you it already
They were 48
went up 7
and
points.
40, and now they're 45 and 55.
Yeah, so the frag went up 5 and the assault cannon went up 7. So if you're bringing two of those, then I mean that's an extra 12 points or 24 points that you've had to add to your list. And I think that we're still going to see a lot of Blizzard and Double Darks. I don't think that you're going to see much deterrence from playing them, as even Boba, from Empire just because of these few extra points. And like Graham was saying, I think before this, you were still able to fit a 9 act list with Boba and Double Darks to be able to kind of get them in with each other and still wreak some havoc. And I think Boba with Double Darks is amazing because even his 3-pip that allows him to give him the orders, and if he doesn't have the programming,
Mm-hmm.
then having that extra black dice and or being able to move them forward with a speed 1 with his 1-pip, I think Boba is just probably one of the best operatives to bring with the Double Dark. What do you guys think on that?
Oh, for sure. I mean, he doesn't even have to give the 2 orders to the darks, and they still get the black die. So it's it's just it's terrifying. I don't know. No, I just don't want to see it. Still,
See, I think uh, do would y'all bring double darks, or do you guys are y'all trying to get into double darks? Because I'm not playing them right now for the fact that I feel like it's not that they're too good. I just I hate the fact that people probably get a little discouraged by playing them, so I don't want to play them at the moment and or
yeah,
double do it. But what do you guys think on that? Do you guys play them or
I don't. I think one fully loaded is fine. I think probably two with just a single heavy would be fine. Um, it's just it's it's so much health, and only one out of 8 sides of the die matter.
Yeah. I mean, I don't play Empire, but I expect people to still play Darks, and if they're not playing Darks, they're probably gonna, play a Saber tank now with the beam cannon or ice piece. I don't think ATRTs are going anywhere, so I'm probably still tacking some impact in my CAS lists. That's not gonna change. So I think other people still gonna bring impact too. Maybe not so much ATRTs anymore with the laser cannon. You've seen those a lot. Maybe some less bazookas, but I think the meta is not going to change that much. I think it's going to be healthier, more diverse. Well, that's my expectation. I don't know. I'm not a professional competitive player. Maybe it's going to be completely 180. With some lists I don't see yet, but I think it's going to be good.
yeah? And so also I know that the e-webs went down, and so it might be okay to kind of fit an e-web with that generator that gives it an extra impact and an extra black dice, or is it black or white for that one? I can't
The
remember.
impact is black. The
For the
suppressive is two
impact, it's
white.
extra black.
Okay, so yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you could possibly see that, especially since Dark Troopers tend to kind of get with Gideon's 2-pip in the back. Maybe having an e-web or two could help. All right, so on the topic of Blizzard, uh, sorry to kind of jump on you guys.
You're good.
I think
That's
Blizzard
great.
now is also going to be somewhat similar. You're still going to see it. I don't think it's anything's going to happen to it. And I also think the reason they're not going to have anything happen to it is because AMG kind of came out with these battle forces, and they want people to probably use these battle forces. So the last thing they want to do is make a good battle force non-playable anymore, and then all the other battle forces kind of outshine that one that they kind of brought down. So I'm glad that what they're doing, especially when they did it with Vigilance, it kind of stopped being spammed. And so with Force Choke going up, with the Imperial Officer going up, and with the Storm HRUs going up, you're just going to probably see it be a lot healthier, and you're not going to see so much extra spam with emergency transponders on the bikes And I think people are probably going to hopefully feel a little bit better about playing it since it's not going to have as much. What do you guys think about Blizzard Force and the new? Do you think that it's still going to be? I know you all think it's going to be playable, and you said you've got a good bid, and the only thing that's taken out really is the emergency transponders. Do you think that everyone else kind of agrees that they did a good thing with Blizzard by just increasing points of upgrades, basically, and or the HRUs?
HRUs are still very good with the two heavy combo. I mean, they got a lot of firepower. You still got four bikes in there. Snows aren't terrible either. You know, I think it's still going to be a good list. I mean, Blizzard Force was very hit or miss. I mean, you killed something very quickly, very hard, or you got wrecked. Most of the time, yeah, unless Vader did something. So, I think they still can do that. That's their core thing. You know, recover the supplies. Doing great breakthrough. They still can do that with that list. So, I think they're still good.
With the whole pass mechanic, it's still like Blizzard is definitely a Alpha Strike list, but um, if you wanted to go down to 9x, most lists are around 9 anyways nowadays after pass got introduced. Um,
Yep.
so you can drop one of those snows, and now you've got an extra 44 points to play around with.
Yeah, and like I said, I think the only reason I brought that up is because it's also a question in the Discord for the live Q&A. Is a lot of people are asking if Blizzard Force is still viable, and yes, definitely, of course. And I'm glad they didn't necessarily change the aspects of you can't bring four bikes. You can still bring four bikes, and then I just think now, hopefully, with some of the points changes, we will see more, you know, not as crazy lists with Blizzard. I don't know.
Yeah. It so long as it cut the bid out from under like at its knees, then that was pretty much all that needed. Because now like the standard one is closer to like a much more reasonable bid compared to everyone else because they're
Yeah,
what they have access to.
yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
Good. Well, that's mostly Empire and everything that was different for Empire. And for the Q&A, yeah, it's mostly just kind of like the questions were why didn't they touch more on Blizzard Force? I think they touched enough, honestly, because I don't think they wanted to bring down too much of the fact that it's a battle force and they don't want to water it down too much. I think they still need to keep bringing the other ones up. And then will Boba getting a points increase deter you from Boba lists for another bounty option? I don't think so. Boba Fett is still going to be absolutely amazing. And again, with him, you don't have to bring his command cards to make him really good. He can still be really good with just a few upgrades, but bringing his command cards makes him even better at being kind of like a commander, so you don't want to be as aggressive with him. But I think people are still going to be bringing him. I'm still bringing him in like an ATST list. That's done pretty well because giving an order out to an ATST and then adding a black dice to that or a triple rainbow to even another black on there is just insane. So
Yeah,
I think Boba, you're still going to see a ton of Boba. What do you guys think? Do you think that you're going to see less Bobas with a 10-point increase?
I think you're still going to see Boba. I mean, people love to play Boba because it's Boba Fett. And I mean, you can even play him naked without command cards and upgrades. I mean, high mobility, Pierce, sharpshooter 2, search crit. It's an awesome unit, and for its price, it's fairly priced. You're still going to see it. If people are going to stop playing Boba Fett just because they saw points increase, well, yeah, that's their loss, I think.
Yeah, I think.
I
I
mean,
mean,
yeah,
he's definitely going to drop off a bit because there's every time there's a nerf, doesn't matter what game it is, there's a lot of people that just get freaked out saying, "No, it's bad now. It got a nerf. How dare they?"
yeah.
um, but
Yeah, I
That
think.
also goes the other way around. I
exactly.
mean, Dronica's got 5 points decrease,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna play them because I want to try if they're good now. I think they're probably still bad, but I'm gonna try it. I know a lot of other people gonna try it too.
Well, I also think with this points updates for a few of the other ones, you're going to see the units that maybe were underplayed played a little bit more since maybe the Dark Troopers went up in price. They can and other things went down in price. like the Mandos, especially, you're going to hopefully see a lot more Mandos out in play, and maybe not so much spamming of Blizzard and or Boba. Or hopefully we see other factions start to increase in winnable or in winning tournaments, instead of just mostly Empire. So that's what I hope to
Yeah.
see from this points update. Is kind of like either CIS and Rebels kind of got some help. If we want, we can go ahead and kind of start talking about Rebels.
Oh man, you gotta show that list you posted
Oh
with
yeah,
the five Mendos. You gotta show that list. Oh, that's such an awesome list.
with Boba.
Yeah, with Boba and Sabine. I want that list to succeed. That's such a cool list.
Yeah, because adding Boba's you know 3-pip to the jetpack rockets. So like you're at range 4, maybe you give an order to Boba, maybe Sabine and or Clan Ren, or the two Mandalorian Resistance people, and whenever you use the jetpack rockets, you're firing 4 red and a black, impact 4, blast, and all surging to hit. And then if you were to just have Boba up there, you can have 9 activations, you can have 10 activations, or if you had, the 9 activations, I had 2 medics on some Rebel troopers, and that brings you to 782, and you can still, put a lot of stuff on there. So like situation. Yeah, no, I mean you got Clan Run with Tristan, Ursa, situational, and jetpacks. You got 2 Mandalorian Resistance with the Best God Duelist and jetpack rockets, and then you've got Sabine with situational, combat shield, and electro grappling line. If you wanted to bring the dark saber, you could bring the dark saber and just get rid of maybe like something off the Imperial officer or whatever. But you've got 4 extra health with the medical droid. You've got Boba Fett with all his command cards, Sabine with all hers, and then you've got 5 Mando units. And so that's finally a Rebel list with a ton of red saves that you can actually make more viable. And having Sabine with her bombs and Boba being able to, and even Boba's 3-pip being able to give an extra black dice to Sabine's single rainbow gunslinger, so she can shoot at 2 with 4 dice at that point. That, I mean, that's going to be really, really good. And I
Yeah.
know, did you guys have any Rebel lists that you guys wanted to talk about?
Uh, I'm excited to get out 4 tons. Oh man,
Yeah, I
I
saw
just need
that.
to
I'm not
paint the fourth
excited.
one.
I saw that list you
I'm not
posted.
excited for that.
Yep. Yeah, 4 tons with tenacity and transponders.
Oh
3
no.
vets with CMOs and targeting scopes. 2 Mark twos and Leia with vigilance.
It, oh, even more reason to bring more good melee units. You gotta destroy their towns once they're in. Oh, it's bad.
There's another one too where you can do 3 tons and 2 airspeeders. I think it's like 9x or something like that. It's
Yeah, that's insane. That is going to be awesome. I hope we see a lot more of the echo based defenders coming up, just because obviously with the points change, that's going to be really nice. I mean, we'll go ahead and kind of look over what they did. So Lando's gone down 5 points, which is really nice. Leia Organa has gone down 5 points. You've got the Commander Luke has gone down 10 points. The Mando Resistance and the Clan Ren base unit has gone down 4 points, and then you've got the Tauntaun Riders that went down 5 as well, which is making it a lot easier to fit, like you said, 4 of those in there with some upgrades, because now it's like emergency transponders almost kind of is free on them at that point. And then Cassian's config has gone down to 0, which I hope to see way more Andor or Cassian on the board. And the jetpacks have gone down to 5 instead of 8. The land speeder, I think they've all gone down. So the RPS gunner's at 21 now. The Mark II medium blaster on the land speeder is only 21. So I think that went down a few points, like 6, 5 or 6. The iron blaster went down. The Best God Duelist, Tristan, and Ursa all went down by 4 points. So, man, this is what's making the Mandos way better, because now you've gone down 12 points on the Clan Ren with Tristan and Ursa because each one went down 4, and then the oh my gosh, the
Resistance.
resistance, but
Mando resistance, yeah.
the jetpack rockets. I don't know why I couldn't think of rockets. With them being
Oh,
down an
yeah.
extra 3 points, so that's 4, 8, 12, 15 points down on the Mando Clan Ren, and then the other ones were what 4, and then 4, and then so 8, 9, 10, 11 on the regular guys, and then the SX-31 trooper, the Rebel trooper. Which one was that one?
I think that's the shotgun, right?
Yeah.
Ah,
Like the
Or is
impact
it a
shotgun.
grenade launcher? Is it a shotgun? Oh, yeah, it's a shotgun.
oh
I
yeah,
never
that
saw
range.
it on the field.
Right?
Yeah, that range 1 to 2 is now well, not way cheaper, but definitely a lot cheaper. So, do you expect to see probably some SX31 Rebel Troopers on the board now, or do you guys expect to see probably more Rebels on the board? What do you guys think?
I don't see why not. Um, it's,
I
I mean,
hope
it's
so.
still a
It's a fun
decent
unit.
dice pool. It's 4 more dice too for only
Yeah,
13 points.
it's pretty good.
Um, oh,
Especially with a lot of units going into melee range, range 2. I mean,
mhm.
downtowns, all kinds of Mandos, Magna Guards are still out there. A lot of the units going to be at range 2. You know, I hope people are going to experiment with it. I hope it's like a secret gem. I love shotguns. They're awesome.
Yeah, and even with the Mando going down, they have a strong range 2 gun and melee. So yeah, like I said, I think and their high maneuverability is going to be great for objectives and just kind of flanking. And with the courage too, that's really nice.
Yeah.
I will say because we're gonna notice this later on. There's one character that's gonna feels a little left out with this points change.
Let me guess, Sabine.
Iden. Well, Sabine too, but hers has gone down enough. But Iden is the only one with a gun that has not gone down.
And you can't even hit recover to change it over. You're only getting one or the other for 15 points.
Yeah,
And Calluses went from 15 to 5. So if that gun could go down to 5 points, maybe 10, sure. I think that would even be more helpful.
I mean it's a good gun either way. I was just like, someone pointed that out to me, and I was just like, "What? Only one person?"
Yeah, it's
Okay.
sad to see because I love Iden. Like I said, she's a Swiss Army knife. She can literally go after objectives or be a good commander with a Courage 3. And then, Inferno Squad is Courage 3 with Gideon. You've got some good units with her. And like I said, she can get close or far away. And with the sniper rifle going to Infinity and Pierce and High Velocity, mixed with she doesn't pair well with Din, but with Din's Amban rifle and with her range to infinity gun, you're getting some pretty good long range shots in at least, and you don't have to sacrifice points if it is coming down to points. You can keep your army back a little bit more.
I mean, pair her up with Callus now.
Yeah, true, because he could be
Yeah.
that good backfield slash melee person.
Yep,
Yeah. Keep her safe.
yep, exactly.
All right, and then let's see. That's mostly it for the Rebels. I think we're probably going to see a lot more Mandos, especially in Rebels, come out, and maybe we'll see some Lando since he's gone down. I'm not sure if that's enough.
Yeah.
Leia, hopefully you see a lot more of her, especially for the new whatever. What is it coming out? The
Oh, Bright Tree Village.
Yes, the Ewoks and all of that stuff. That's going to be fun because now that she's way cheaper, it's going to be way better.
Mhm.
For sure.
I'm sure we'll see more of the force pushing Commander Luke and or Echo Base.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I agree.
Yep.
Probably.
Yeah.
Now he
Um.
gets force push for free essentially. He went down 10 points.
Right.
So
All right. Well, then let's go to the next one. So we've got, we've already gone over Rebels. Let's go over the Galactic Republic. So the ARC Troopers have gone down 6, and that's the full squad. The strike team is still the same. The Clone Captain Rex has gone down 5 points, which I think is helpful, but not, you know,
Not enough.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's helpful, but there could be probably more that could happen to clone Soldier Rex or Captain. The lat has gone down for the Republic, but not for Empire, and I'm assuming that's just because Republic is just so expensive to begin with, and so having that extra 5 points down is going to be able to help Anakin a little bit more, especially with the fact that he can use Exemplar. So he can use Exemplar while inside the thing, right? One second.
Uh,
Okay.
let's see.
All right. So yeah. So can Anakin use Exemplar still while he is in the lat? Right.
Um,
I'm not sure.
I don't believe so because Exemplar requires line of sight. It's not just a straight range, but I'm not 100% on that. So maybe.
Because
Um,
I know you're not allowed to do free. Wait. You're not allowed to attack out there. And yeah, I keep forgetting about the heavy transport because I'm.
because they changed the heavy or the closed transports because of like Din and stuff when they did the CRB, so you can't draw line of sight to something that's in there now.
Okay.
Mm,
So I'm
okay.
guessing that would affect Exemplar.
Okay, that would
Guessing.
make sense then.
Yeah.
Because I guess, like you said, with Exemplar, you have to have line of sight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's a
It's
little
in there. You
sad.
cannot. You cannot draw a line of sight. It's in there. I checked. Yeah. You cannot use it. Oh, that's unfortunate. I didn't even knew that. Well, you can still deliver Wookiees.
Mm-hmm.
It is better. Yeah,
Oh
Wookiees
yeah.
are good to deliver. Yeah.
Yeah, I've told people before that putting Wookiees in a lat is actually not that bad because it's keeping them alive.
Mm-hmm.
Still gives them
Well, and the shock trooper pilot give them a dodge or a name when they're getting ready to leave.
that's really helpful as well.
Just tear everybody up.
See, Mike. Sorry, got some maintenance going on.
There you go.
All right, and then so we have Padme. Padme has gone down, and I know that that has been a request of everybody for Padme to see a points drop because she can no longer share surge tokens. I think we're probably still going to see her a lot because putting seize the initiative and the prepared supplies on her is going to just do wonders for order control and making sure that she shares those dodges.
Yeah, I think you'll definitely see her a lot more, and I'm guessing you'll probably see her a lot more with Cody because that seems to be the theme of these buffs is Cody and 501st.
Yeah, those are the strongest ones I keep seeing so far. The 501st and Cody. I see a lot of Cody lists, and there was one that had 10 acts for a Cody list. I think that was pretty good. It had like 3 ATRTs or something like that.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be absolutely amazing. And I played up against a 10 act just Rex list this weekend. It was like Rex 5 phase 1s and three um, three snipers, and I think there was a general, a regular clone commander, just a generic guy, and that was awesome. And I just made a mistake of maneuvering Maul a little wrong, and thinking about the whole you gotta the unit leader has to base, and for some reason I was thinking I need to base the unit leader, and I had a brain fart. Instead of I force pulled them super close to me, cohered the regular guys right in front of Maul next to heavy cover where he would have been slightly blocked with line of sight, but I decided to jump into the middle where the unit leader was and screwed myself over a little. But it was a good game. That's got a ton of fire support potential, and having playing hostage exchange and seeing Rex being able to move the hostage unit with that scout too, that that's pretty awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. That's still good.
Yeah.
And
Hey, you can
no, no, go ahead. Go
you
ahead.
you can do a 9 act 501st list with Rex up close, recon, and jetpack. Phase 2 with a mortar, a naked phase 2. 3 full arcs with the DC-15, a full arc with Echo, and 2 ATRT laser cannons.
Man, that's fantastic. That's going to be, especially with those ATRTs being that little walking cover for you guys.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds. Oof.
Sounds
If you
tasty.
can, if a full arc team can fire support onto the ATRT,
Or arcs don't have fire
someone.
support,
I was going to say,
Sorry. Oh yeah, of course they don't. They don't have that.
if only.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and then the ATRT,
Still.
the ATRT surges, and so being able to, you know, because when you're fire supporting, you can't use the sharpshooter that's on the arcs, can you?
If they're the one that's starting the attack, you can.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. The unit that's fire supporting into, it's only the weapon keywords, not the unit keywords that get applied.
That's right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you can't spend that aim that's on the person who is fire supporting the person shooting.
Um, if that's, I mean, you can if it, like for clones, if you're only using that as your one shared token.
Okay, yeah. Well, that would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. But they don't get like an extra one getting added into it. But that, yeah.
Okay. And then let's see.
There's also some crazy Wookiee shenanigans you can do now.
Like what? What are
The
some?
Gnasp Gunner.
Yeah. What are some good stuff?
You can do a 10 act Chieftain Chewie, 3 phase ones, 2 Kashyyyk defenders with the bowcaster, offensive push, targeting scopes, and 3 NASPs with the gunner. So
Wow.
that is, what is that?
That's a lot of
7
fears. That's what
tiers.
it is.
And you could always drop out Chewie to swap for a third warrior. Oh man.
Well, do you think that you should keep Chewie in there instead, or do you think that it would be better to have that Wookiee warrior? Because I mean, albeit he just has Guardian for commander, your commander's going to be doing well if he had situational awareness on him anyway.
I guess it would really just depend on your if you wanted a more reliable die pool with Chewie because he's 2 reds, 2 whites. He's also searched to hit like the warriors, but he does have that critical one. But the Wookiee warriors at the same range are going to have, I believe, um, 8 dice against his 4 dice, but it's going to be 7 whites and a red instead. Um, so, kind of at that point, it kind of comes down to preference. Pretty
Yeah,
much the same amount of health. Or no, the Wookiee warriors will also have more health. They'll be at 12 versus Chewie's 9.
yeah. That was the other thing that I was thinking about was the health pool is going to be a little bit more on those warriors.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just again personal preference. That sounds like a really good fun list to wind up using with 3 fluttercrafts, and then 2 Wookiee warriors or 3. Man,
Yep.
Wookiee people are finally going to start breaking through.
It's still going to suck to travel with those things, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be the one thing that's tough. But they've got some health, hopefully.
Yes.
Um, let's see. Now with the question and answers. Someone was saying, let's see, there's an errata that could be coming soon. All rumors though. I'm not sure if they're what kind of things they'd plan on doing. They were saying that the choke might be nerfed some more, which I don't know how. Maybe if it's just on a it's already like gonna be fine because for force choke it's already saying that you can't do it to commanders or operatives, so there's nothing else that needs to be done to it, I think. And then being able to bring 1 snow needed per HRU, I'm
I
not
mean,
sure
you can
about.
already do that, like we were saying. So It's
Yeah,
not.
I've heard
That's not the
two
end of the world.
snows per one HRU. So you would need four snows to bring two HRUs. Allegedly, that's the rumor that I've heard on the
I feel like
you
then
know
you
it's
wouldn't
rumors
need it
it
to do
doesn't
the
matter.
points change though. That point change
Well,
just kind of seems like overkill. Then if you have to bring two snows for every one HRU.
yeah, we don't know what's happening on the background.
Yeah. Um,
yeah.
Maybe that's why they're waiting. Waiting a couple of tournaments, to test the waters first.
That's what I would do. I would just wait, see how things play out with the points changes, and then if things need to keep changing a little bit more, then sure. And obviously, I think they've made a note that they were gonna, if something really needed to be changed, that they could do it a little bit faster. But yeah,
I mean, these point changes definitely show that they listened, and the Dark Troopers were a pretty quick turnaround, all things considered. That
Yeah,
was 4 months, and because they came out in
pretty quick.
February, so yeah, that wasn't too long, honestly. It felt like a long 4 months, but
it
Yeah,
does feel like a long 4 months, especially when you're playing like either every weekend or every week. Like you're playing a few games. That 4 months can seem like a whole year.
yeah.
yeah,
I've been
for
waiting for
sure.
those Mandos to finally come down in price because I can finally play my Darth Maul and 3 Mando unit list much, much better. Instead of having a generic Mando, I can finally have one of the other upgrades and even bring an emergency transponder on it. Because, see, I have like, the two capos, 3 foot soldiers. I have Maul. And Force Barrier and or Force Choke, since they're the same price now, it doesn't really matter. You can kind of just do whatever.
Do you
But
think
then.
people are gonna play Gar Saxon now? Because he also got reduced.
Whenever you can bring Maul in Shadow Collective, I would bring Maul because to me it almost seems like Shadow Collective is kind of based around Maul because he's got so many command cards that go well with multiple units instead of just him. And I found that he's like a good commander, and I'm less aggressive with him, especially with Force Barrier to protect the more like other expensive units like the Mandos. Even though they've got their 2 shields, you're looking at there was a dice pool that had 9 coming through with a fire support at them, and then using Force Barrier, heavy cover, and 2 shields to get rid of 2, 4, 6, and then roll for 3. That's so much better than having to roll for another 5. And the less dice you can roll with having Mandos, the better. So it's a sacrifice of Force Choke, but on the other hand, I still have Force Push, which I can still kind of maneuver an enemy unit around with Force Push. I can like Force Push them and then go back into melee with them, and then recover and then hit them. There's a lot of stuff you could do with Maul, and I like his 3 actions. So I think if you can bring Maul over Gar Saxon, do it. But if you're just looking for an all-out Mando 5 unit Mando list, you're gonna have to be prepared to move and try not to get too involved in melee because again you don't have such a strong melee unit because 4 minis can crumble to pierce, and so you're trying not to get any Mandos into melee. In my opinion, they have a good melee like 2 dice per mini, but at the same time they're gonna fall super quick. So yeah,
Yeah.
take Maul if you can.
All right. Just wondering. Gar
Yeah,
Saxon is an awesome model, of course.
yeah. I mean, he's good just to take naked and like maybe recon intel on there, and then just have him to like keep your pikes moving forward. But
I do like his range 1 to 4 gun. It's the longest range gun that Shadow Collective has because it can go up to range 5. So having that little bit of long range firepower can help Maul, especially if you paired up Maul and Gar Saxon, which you can probably do now. Take instead of 3 Mando units, just strip one of those Mando units and bring Gar Saxon, and you've got another good set. But then, to me, I'm also missing out on a few of Maul's good command cards that can really help. Like with his Imminence, since you've got 3 Mandos, you have a ton of people firing at your Mandos, building up suppression. Because I had 9 suppression on one of my Mando units before, and having his Imminence, which a lot of people will probably get rid of in order to take his instead of his Imminence, they'll probably take Phantom Menace and bring Gar Saxon's 2-pip, which would bring Gar Saxon and 2 other units in order and still give them outmaneuver. but you could still panic. And Garsax has only got 2 courage, and Maul has 3, and you're going to be able to share his courage with all of the Mandos and have a courage 3 leader for the Mandos instead of a courage 2, giving them a much better opportunity to still make that action and not panic. So that's why I'm just like, if you're gonna bring Saxon, maybe bring him like you said naked, or just kind of like as a side character, and maybe not bring his cards, or fully commit to having Gar Saxon and multiple units, so that you can kind of maximize the command card usage and not just kind of find the command cards during the game that you really want to bring for another game. I don't know. I'm just finding more success with Maul over Gar Saxon.
Yeah.
Um, Now, there was someone who was asking a question about the Bad Batch and maybe how it'll work and how it'll be balanced. We'll get to that maybe at the end, but let's kind of go over the rest of Galactic Republic because I don't think we finished it. So we have the TRX Saber Tank has gone down as well, and then the Fluttercraft NASP or the NASP Gunner has gone down, and then the twin beam cannons for the ISP and the blaster cannons have all gone down 15 points each, and the twin missile pods. So, and the Saber class beam cannon turret has also gone down 215 instead of what 30 or 40 or whatever it
Yeah, it
was.
was like 30 points. Yeah, it got half off.
Yeah, there we go. That's good. And so I think we're going to be seeing it hopefully with Cody and the ISP stuff going down and the Saber tank going down along with its beam cannon. Hopefully, we'll see a lot more of the vehicles in Republic. So, guy, what do you guys think? Do you think we're going to see way more like heavies in GAR rather than just ATRTs and stuff like that?
I don't know. Saber tank is still very expensive. Maybe. Sometimes people didn't even bring the turret, the beam turret, because they found it too expensive. I
Yeah.
mean, you might as well take the beam now. It's one point more, but I don't know. It's still an expensive one to bring. I think
I,
Cody's better with like sports.
yeah. I think the beam turret is the right price if we didn't have the cover system we currently have. It's fine for that first attack when everything's going into one target, but as soon as you're doing those 2 dice against everything else, you're hoping for a crit because it ain't doing anything else.
And with such
Most of the time.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it's a small dice pool, so you're hopefully going to be getting something through with a crit, but that's about it.
Yeah.
I
But
mean, the ISP has a beam weapon that also has uh, two red, two white. So that one might be better now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
mhm.
I think
sure.
that has a lot more potential.
Yeah. So let's move on to the separatists. So the BX series commandos have gone down, which is really, really nice because, hopefully we start to see a little bit more of them. And I know that Emperor, you have made a mines and or bomb list with the commandos, and since the whole team is a little bit cheaper, it's going to be easier to fit. And then we'll talk about that in just 2 seconds. The Count Dooku has gone down 10 points, which is really nice. Droidicas have gone down 5, so now emergency transponders should be almost basically staple to them in a way, unless you're just trying to use them as a flanking tool, and you guys would know that a little bit more. And then General Grievous has finally gone down. The deflector shields for the BX commandos have gone down to 10 from 18, I think. And
Yeah,
then the DT 57 Annihilator General Grievous's pistol is now free, which I think going down in points from him and having a free gun just makes Grievous a lot better. You guys, or at least Emperor I know, plays CIS, and so what's your first takes? What were when you first saw this? Kind of what were you thinking?
I was very happy, very happy. Um, I got a few thoughts on it. I think Grievous, and I'm talking about like local competitive, not Worlds events level, because at Worlds you probably still not want to take Grievous because he doesn't have force powers and his command cards are, not weak but not the strongest. But Grievous is very good now. If you take up close and personal, when that came out with the one pip, You can get a lot of dodges, and with the gun with it being free and like vigilance, it's 170 points. That's a good price for 8 health beat stick that can generate some dodges, and his two pip is very good. And maybe we're gonna see him with some melee characters, like him protecting Dooku or Ventress with his two pip. So I'm really excited to try that out. And I think Droidicas, yeah, they're cheaper. I don't know if it's enough for them. If it's not enough, I hope they get another 5 points reduced. But we're gonna test it out first. I mean, if you take three of them and they're really good with bombing run, because yeah, double speed three, taking that bomb, with heavy cover on them in ball mode. I mean, it's pretty good. So I'm gonna test it out, and yeah, for the other changes, BX is really needed some love. I think it's great. It's all great. Dooku is essentially only 5 points cheaper because choke got increased, and he always takes choke. I think that's why they did 10 for him. But yeah, I got no complaints. And also the generic super tactical droids 5 points cheaper. So maybe some weird wonky lists with some that need some support mechanics are gonna see some more. I think people are gonna experiment more. It's like a sort of I say it. He's almost like a generic super tactical, right?
Yeah, I think the invasion battle
Generic
force has now drastically gotten better.
Yeah,
Uh, I mean,
yeah.
if you
Especially
want to, it,
yeah.
you could
Sorry.
do a naked generic super tactical Grievous just with his blaster for uh, B2s with the T series and the Ha, and three. Oh, this is actually strike teams. I thought I had done, or so three strike teams of shields and snipers.
That's a lot of ads.
Nine.
Yeah. I, IG. Yeah. I think. I mean, CIS always has that core identity of bringing some units that are generic but have the support capabilities to support your list with AI. That's always going to be good. I mean, a lot of lists are taking 9 activations, but with these nerfs, with these buffs, and that decreases in points, I think we're going to see some high activation lists. Maybe they're going to come back for CS, like 12 activations, 13 activations. I'm excited. You know? Last first is still good mechanic to do with lightsabers. So
And
yeah,
CIS does really well with high activation lists.
yeah, for sure. I'm so excited to try bombing run with Droidicas. I'm think when the points dropped, it was 1 at night, and I couldn't sleep because there was a mosquito. And I saw the points, and I've been thinking, like, I was awake almost all night, thinking about Droidicas, thinking about Grievous, couldn't sleep. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I kept thinking about all the Mando stuff.
Yeah, I can imagine. I think everybody's going to be happy except people who play Dark Troopers and you know just wanted everything they have in it. I mean, I think people who play Blizzard Force can't be mad. I mean, they know they played one of the strongest lists, right? So, but all the other factions got love, so I think most of us are going to be very happy.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot more battle forces coming out over probably just generic stuff because of the point changes and those extra command cards. So I'm hoping that. Well, I think the only battle force that got crapped on is the Imperial Remnant one because of obviously the Dark Troopers. But yeah, I think the Invasion Force just got better. I think with the new Bright Tree and Echo Base with Leia getting a little bit cheaper, that's going to be way better. And Blizzard Force is already good. And now the 501st is hopefully going to be a little bit better with Rex, at least a little bit more involved, and or clones in general is going to be a lot better because there's a lot more things that are cheaper, especially for vehicles.
Yeah.
All right, and let's finish out with some mercenaries and the neutral upgrades. So with mercenaries, the Black Sun Enforcers are now the same price as the Vigo. So you have that. Boba Fett went up 10 points. Gar Saxon's down 5 points. The Super Commandos are down 5 points. The Swoop Bikes are down 5. The Magdet Enforcers are up 2. The Super Commando, Gunslinger, and Marksman are down 2. And then for Force Choke has gone up 5. And the Quad Laser has finally decreased a whopping 3, I think.
Ooh.
Yeah, so, ooh. Uh,
Should have been 4. 1 point for each laser.
um, uh, the I'm sad to see that the Black Suns, with them just having a range 2 weapon, keeps going up. But if you can get them in, they're just going to go ham. So it's just kind of like, do you think we're going to see a lot of Black Suns still with them going up in price, or not so much?
Yes.
I think we're still going to see them.
The number of times a dauntless Black Sun has just gotten away from me is the most aggravating thing for a core unit.
Man,
Because no, I feel 50 points for them base. It's a lot, but it's it's not like it's only 2 more points, so it's not like it's crazy. You can find that 9 times out of 10, and the the Magnet was always undercosted. Like it's only range 1, but it does so much, and
I was
even if you
really
want to shoot range 2, you're still getting another black and white.
I was really hoping that the Scattergun Enforcer would go down in points, probably to like 22 or 24 instead of 28.
Yeah, but the fleets would feel sad if they got left behind on that boat.
Yeah,
Fleets can use love. That isn't bad. Do that.
Yeah.
Or they give the fleets the Iden treatment. Just don't.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and you're looking at a maxed out Black Sun Enforcers with the Magdet, the Vigo, the Recon, Intel, and Frag Grenades, a whole whopping 93 points for a core. Now, yeah, Red Dice and a Surge, Courage 2. Do you think that that's a pretty good
almost,
points for that kind of core unit?
yeah, for sure. I mean, if I play B2s or should be on the same power level, I'm also paying 100 points for them fully decked out. So, I don't think that's bad. It's just the same concept, different faction. I mean, they're 50 points. They're almost the same price as clones, the phase ones. And I mean, if you compare them, I'm like, yeah, I could see them being almost the same price as clones. They're strong.
A
Yeah,
phase
B2.
2 with a
That's my
Z6 and
opinion.
targeting scopes is 91 points.
Say what one more time?
Or a phase 2 with a Z6 and a targeting scope is 91 points. So that's Courage 2 and a Surge token each turn, too.
Yeah. Okay, I would say then that the Black Suns kind of deserve to be that. I'd. I'm just struggling with that range 1 and range 1 to 2. They're such a close range unit. And so it's kind of limited on how you can play them, which is my thing. And I think that the clones being just like 2 points cheaper and having up to range 3 and red die saves and surging if they can share. They can't share surges, can they? Or no,
Yeah,
they can't say. Yeah,
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 it's
yeah.
1 token per interaction.
Mhm. I was thinking standbys.
Yeah, yeah, 1 green token,
Yeah.
I should say.
Um, but yeah, I mean that's really all the points updates, and I don't think there was really much left for the stuff to talk about. I know that the most random question that we got, especially, was from Father of Loki, and he was asking, I want to know what favorite food is, how you cook it, buy it, or have someone fix it up for you, and or perhaps a new Callus review and his point decreases. I'll do that. I'll kind of talk about and we've already kind of talked about Callus and the fact that his bow staff is a lot cheaper. He's going to be able to be used a lot more. But do you guys have a favorite food? And if you do you cook it? And we'll end on that question.
uh,
Probably beef stew, like Belgian beef stew or French beef bourguignon. I love stew, but it's very hard. I mean, food is a big thing of my life. I mean, I love food. Food's the best. Cooking is the best also. But yeah, beef stew probably, or just vegetable stew. Stew in general. Stew is good.
uh,
Yeah.
I'd say right now it's probably. I don't know if I can really say it's like a specific thing, but if I could just get a barbecue menu, I'd be happy.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, barbecue pulled pork, barbecued, chicken.
Yep.
Those are always good.
Uh,
I have barbecue sauce all the time
yep.
on my chicken.
Oh man.
I don't know. I would say favorite food is honestly, I kind of stick to the same diet just because. So there's nothing crazy fancy about mine. I'll just have like a grilled chicken salad with pistachios, maybe some strawberries, some either brie or something on there. But yeah, raspberry vinaigrette. That's recently, but
Nice. That sounds tasty too.
mm-hmm. But that was really it. I don't know. Do you guys have anything else that you'd like to mention, or any hot takes that we've yet to kind of talk about any of the new points updates or new lists?
Let me see. No, I don't think so. Really excited to try it all out and see what people are gonna do. I
Yeah.
think the meta's gonna, I don't think the meta is gonna shift too much, but I think we're gonna see a lot of lists that we didn't see before. And, that makes me excited.
I know
Yeah.
I've already said it in the Discord, but I'm very happy my list survived, so I don't have to paint anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then same here with that Mall Mando list. I can finally fit more in there, so that's really nice.
For sure. Yeah.
But all right, well, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Graham and Emperor, for all that you do, and I also want to just quickly thank the Patreon members for everything that they do. Kitsune, Emperor, yourself, Tyson, Anthony Estrada. Thank you guys so much again for being a part of this and helping with the giveaways and everything that you do each month. I'm going to try to keep posting some more onto Patreon and either some more objective stuff or whatever that you guys want. And again, thanks you for your time being able to join this call, and I hope that everyone kind of found this helpful and enjoyed it, and leave comments down below to enter in to win that giveaway that I'll announce on Thursday. Any final words, or is that it, guys? Any just outros for y'all?
Shout out to Anthony for hosting the painting challenge.
Yeah, that painting challenge still going on, and he is the brainchild behind that, and it's his little child that he's got. So thank him, and hopefully you guys are still entering in.
Be curious to see if the points influence what we see in the painting contest now.
True, right?
Land speed is everywhere.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then we'll have to talk about some tournaments coming up, because I know you guys are going to be in some tournaments soon, and so it'll be really nice to kind of hear what you guys bring and talk, or just how the experience is, and if you guys have any pictures, feel free to post them. I know everyone does a lot for the Discord and posts a lot in the Discord. It's awesome to see everybody posting all their ideas and whatnot, and the community that we've all built is really, really nice. So I just want to say that and say thanks to everybody. And yeah, all right. Well, this is Shadow Scout. I'm out.
Right. Bye bye.
See you guys.
Yep. All right. Deuces, everybody.